This would be very helpful. Again, we talked about the bio. If you look at my bio, you will see the keywords. Well, first of all, my username is Sue B. Zimmerman. If you search my name anywhere on the internet, I come up even in ChatGTP because I have so much content that I've created over the 12 years of teaching Instagram, whether it's from my YouTube channel, my blogs, articles I've contributed to, press releases I've got featured in. But your name is searchable. There is SEO, search engine optimization. Similarly, you have a name field. And if you look at my name field, yes, emojis are searchable in your name field. My favorite is the peace out one. That is my signature post and emoji. And so it's in my name field. Notice how I have business growth. Yes, I used an emoji. Emojis are the universal language. And I coach primarily women 50 and older. I do masterminds, paid masterminds on Cape Cod in Falmouth Heights, where I live most of the time. I am bi-coastal. Right now, I'm in La Jolla, and I also do masterminds in La Jolla. And if you don't know what a mastermind is, just get curious in my DM and I can share that with you. Or you can get curious by looking at my account. My bio is a boss bio. I help business owners, women, in their prime, step the F up in life and in business. Well, what does that mean? Like, live your life to the fullest. I don't just teach Instagram, I'm also a business coach. For 12 years, I've been teaching Instagram. But if you need business advice, let's chat. That is where my 15-minute call is. Many of you had booked a 15-minute call. If you haven't, I invite you to do that. Also, you guys, and I haven't even talked about this, this is advanced. I have a broadcast channel, and if you click Sue B Growth Tips, it is free. You can join my broadcast channel. It is a feature on Instagram where you, as the thought leader, can be in charge of a community. And so in that channel, I teach everything about growth, growing your mindset, growing your relationship with money, growing your business, growing your opportunities. So if you don't know what a broadcast channel is, I invite you to check that out. Now, you should also see this professional dashboard when you're looking at Instagram on your mobile, and you can view how many accounts you've reached in the last 30 days, which is kind of cool. We talked about highlights when we talked about Instagram stories. Highlights are resources. Think of them as tabs on your website where you can point people to. Every highlight has a custom URL. So if you're someone that's like, wait, I'm interested in looking at Sue's clients, the highlight I have here about favorite clients, whenever anyone says to me, I'd love to see some of your clients, I'm like, great. I send them a link to my highlights. To find that link, it's on the bottom right where the three dots are, and you can literally send your highlight link to anyone via text, WhatsApp, Facebook, Messenger, you name it, X, Reddit, Threads. You can even add a channel. So when someone's interested in seeing me with my clients, this is the link that I send them. And this is the highlight that proves that I have clients. And so it's important for you to walk the talk, for us to see your content in your feed and to understand who you are, what you do, and more importantly, why you do it. And so every piece of content in your feed, collectively as a whole, should be telling a story that fulfills the promise that you made in your bio. If there is not content in your feed that matches who you say you are and what you do, there is a disconnect. And when there's a disconnect, trust is not built as quickly. Any questions coming up with that? I think it's really important for people to hear that. Anything coming in, Jim? Are we good?
We're good, Sue. Nothing yet.
Okay. So I'm gonna just talk about Instagram stories and share. You'll see at the top it says share a note. This is a very strategic opportunity for you to share something that you're doing or showcasing or behind the scenes. Now, if you mention an account, that account will get a notification. So notes are like here's what I'm up to today, and they last 24 hours. And so anybody that clicks that can be like, wait, Sue's teaching at SCORE. Well, what SCORE? And this is how I can drive more traffic to somebody else. This is about me giving a shout out to an account that I'm in alignment with. And so that's a little ninja tip, you guys, worth the price of admissions today, don't you think? Now I'm going to tap through my stories and I'm going to tell you why I did what I did, because last week we talked about Instagram stories. Instagram stories are primarily seen by your followers, not new people. And so it's important for you to nurture your followers in a way that they would feel like they know you more, they connect with you more. Maybe it's the backdrop of your life, your lifestyle, what you're doing that's interesting. There are nuances in each clip of a story. I'm telling you exactly where I'm hiking today. There's a geotag that takes you there. And that's interesting for people that are like, wait, I want to know a good hiking place in La Jolla. And so I like to show my active lifestyle because I'm all about work-life balance. And I do teach uh, a lot of health and wellness modalities, intermittent fasting, mobility. You don't see that on Instagram, but I do teach it and I do have clients around it. So when you show something like this, you can put the time that you're there and you can give more context to it. I let people know it was a 30-minute drive from La Jolla. And my husband is not on Instagram, but he's a good Instagram husband. He does what I say. I always love to share when I'm on a coaching call or a potential client call and just hearing what they say and filming them. Just to everybody, I don't ask for permission when I'm doing that, but everyone loves the tag and shares it in their story. And then today I gave it more context. I talked about Lori and I talked about how you can attract your ideal client using Instagram stories. She has been watching my stories for probably a good year or so, and she's ready to coach with me. And she told me that on the call. And she just referenced a lot of what I've shared in my stories as reasons why she wants to coach with me. And so it's really important to connect with people. And sometimes people are just interested in where you are. I mean, La Jolla is one of the most beautiful places in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And a lot of people like seeing the shore on the Pacific coast. And this is a walk that I do every morning with my husband. So again, it's just giving a little bit more of the behind the scenes, the backdrop of my life. And then one of the things I like to share, because I'm all about white space, and I hope many of you as entrepreneurs and business owners aren't just rolling in from one meeting to the next, from one thing to the next, because that is not a way to operate as an entrepreneur. There needs to be white space from each commitment so that you can process what you do, you can think about what you do, you can take notes, reflect, and take action on what you do. And so this is really important to think about when you are an entrepreneur. Okay, so I'm gonna go into my deck. How's everyone feeling about what you just saw? Is anything coming up for anybody? Um, how do I reconnect after being off the grid and posting for some time? There's absolutely a way to do that, and it needs to be strategic. Everything I do has a strategy in mind. And so it requires that you think about your ideal client and what they want and need and what solution you provide. How you help and serve, not sell, is the name of the game in 2025 and beyond. If you are not coming at your social marketing efforts with how can I give, how can I serve, how can I be curious, then you need to take a little audit, because this is life right now. Everyone wants, the more you give, the more you get. Okay. So thanks for those of you that are commenting. And I'm going to pull up my deck. Give me one hot second. I thought I had it here in the backdrop, but I must have closed it out. So I'm just going to pull it up. And this is all about Instagram Live, okay? And I'm really curious, how many of you have done an Instagram Live? Anybody? And if so, have you had any success? Because it is definitely the neighborhood on Instagram that can be the most, I want to say, yeah, challenging. And I'm going to make it so that you guys get excited about doing it. Okay. Let me see. Did anyone say that they've tried it? Oh, you were a participant. I want to do it for our concerts. Perfect. Once, never, once a minute. Okay. It takes time to do it and to do it well. And today I hope I empower all of you to do it well. So today is the fourth series of 5. And by the way, Jim and I just spoke in the green room, and we are going to be adding a bonus the week after next, all about the Instagram direct message, called Deep in the DM and how to sell in the Instagram direct message. Because at the end of the day, we all want to make more money, right? So I thought that would be really a nice addition, a bonus for you guys. Let me know how you think about that. Today, we're going to focus on 3 things. One is the reference of Instagram being a village. We talked about the feed, we talked about stories, we talked about now we're talking about we talked about the bio, and we're talking about live. And I'm going to show you how you all can practice before you go live, which I think is going to be really comforting. And we're going to dive in deep about the purpose of live and how they're different from other neighborhoods. And because I think, let me know, is this your first time on this call? I'd like to do a quick little audit of how many people, is there anyone new here today? I always like to just give a little context about my passion and love for teaching and educating and sharing what I know and what I've learned over the past 12 years on Instagram. And I have spoken on many different stages all over the world. And I love that, Vanita, it's your first time. Nope, today's live. Brenda, next week we're going to do Reels. Um, so yeah, so some of you may recognize me from Creative Live. I have 4 best-selling courses from Creative Live. I've spoken at Social Media Marketing World 9 years in a row, traffic and conversion. I've spoken at real estate conferences, keynoted at Compass. I've spoken as a keynote at the Mayo Clinic to doctors, recently to dentists as a keynote in Chicago. I've spoken in the Bahamas and in Canada, and the furthest away I've traveled is Cebu. Does anyone know where Cebu is? It's in the Philippines, far, far away. And on the way back, I stopped in Hong Kong, which was amazing with my husband. So, so I love teaching, and I've teach in small groups like this, smaller groups. I do coaching 1-to-1, and I speak on many large stages, and I just love what I do. Now, I want to share some of the takeaways that you guys had, because I think it's always important to reference the people that are on the call and what you guys are learning. I love Colleen said that she left last week with enthusiasm and ideas. I hope that you're all generating ideas and more focus. We talked about the hands-free feature in Instagram stories. You definitely want to watch the replay on that if you didn't get a chance to see that. Michelle said, everything I'm teaching is useful, and I'm hoping that that's the case for all of you. Practice makes perfect. If you're not practicing stories, if you're not putting content out, you get nothing. So I'm all about action takers and momentum, and I love that Sandra feels more comfortable doing stories after last week's workshop. So this is great to see and share. And again, Instagram is this village with over 2 billion monthly active users. Now, do you need all these users? Absolutely not. You need to identify where your target audience, who your target audience is, what they like, and where they hang out. And if you do have a geographical, low-case-based business like I used to have on Cape Cod in the Pomponset Marketplace, my store, Subi-Doo, it was a seaside boutique selling jewelry, clothing, and accessories, and where I discovered the power of Instagram. that was the easiest way for me to market to get people into my store. And when I understood the geolocation and the other surrounding businesses and how to collaborate, it was a game changer. My sales increased 40%. And so if you have a geographical based business, you definitely want to talk to me if you're not hitting your numbers, if you're not making the revenue that you want to be making. Um, so when I talk about Instagram as a village, especially to those of you that are new, there are these neighborhoods and areas where it varies with how people interact and engage. Some people like to just tap through stories. Some people like to watch Instagram lives, which we're going to talk about today. Some people like to watch reels, and some people just like to hang out in the feed and scroll. And every one of them varies. And there are four. So if you look at this screen, there are, and we've done the feed and stories. And today we're doing live. Next week we're doing reels, and they all converge. Every neighborhood converges into the rotary that I call the DM. So each neighborhood has its own unique ways of interacting, and each one has an opportunity for you to go deeper and connect and be curious with a person, with a real person in your Instagram direct message. We're not talking about the billions of people. We're talking about a person that could change your mood, your day, your business. It happens to me every single day. I connect with new people because I show up consistently in my stories, which we talked about last week, right? So again, users, individuals interact differently in each area and have conversations that are started differently. We now have conversations that we can have from notes. We have conversations that we can have from stories, that we can have from posts. I call the conversations a comment thread, and it is beneficial if you are someone who is not posting consistently. It is beneficial to set a timer on your phone, on your watch for 15 minutes and interact and comment on other people's businesses and accounts that are in alignment with you, because every single Instagram account gets a notification when somebody comments, and it is beneficial for you to be part of the conversation. How many people see something on Instagram and maybe you hesitate to comment, but you want to comment, and you start by reading what other people are saying, and you get some insight from what other people are saying? And you might even find a comment that you're like, dang it, I love the way Mary summarized that and shared. I'm going to go check out Mary. Do you know that you can attract new followers from commenting strategically? It is something that I teach in my program, Ready, Set, Grow. And it is my signature program I've been selling for almost 10 years. We update it constantly. It really is an amazing program for anyone that's like, wait, I don't even understand what Sue's saying. There's a lot to teach here, you guys. That program is 9 hours of epic content, going deeper in what I'm teaching you here. Again, we're going to focus on Instagram Live right now. Okay, so Instagram Lives, for those of you that don't know, is a free live streaming tool, which is amazing. I mean, it used to cost so much money to broadcast and go live, and anyone in the world, like through a TV, like you had to pay for that. Now you do it for free on Instagram. And when you're live, it does take some time for your followers and other people on Instagram to see that you're live. And the worst thing that you could do when you're live is to just wait and say, I'm waiting for my guest, or I'm waiting for people to join. It's important to just go into whatever it is you're going to talk about, especially if you're going to save it in your feed, which we'll talk about in a minute. But people can comment in real time. If you look at the image on the right, I did put on a little filter, because you can do that, ladies in the house. There's a little smiley face. You can pick your filter, smooth yourself out, put those lashes on, little lip gloss, whatever you're saying. I don't look good today. Get over it. I usually don't do any filters, but you can wave to people as they come in the room. You can put a pinned title, as you can see at the bottom, Want more, comment below and the word start, and I'll send it to you in the DM. Now, we had a tool software where people, if they commented on our live, we used ManyChat. I don't use it anymore, but I used to use it on the Instagram Expert, and it was a way to get people onto our email list, which is ultimately the goal, right? But this is where you can wave to people and you can connect with people in real time. That's the magic of it, okay? Now, when somebody is live, you will see it at the top of your feed and you can watch it. It has a rainbow ring around it and it says live. And if you have not yet watched a live broadcast, I strongly suggest that you tap in and see what it feels like. When you go live, your followers get this notification. The Instagram Expert is live, and I was highlighting the algorithm. I was talking about the algorithm that day. So that is the title that was there. Okay, so now let's talk about the value of going live. Well, lives can be used to document in the moment, time-sensitive content, or more evergreen content, depending on your plan for repurposing. I do interviews with people. We have a action plan, a title, a time duration of how long we're going to be talking. I will share with you in my chat one of those lives interviews so you can see it. It's with an author of a book, one of my students, and it's Ayurveda Longevity Formula. It's amazing book, and I'll share that with you guys in the chat in a minute. Lives also function as a place for interviews, like I just said, or collaborations, which can give you more exposure, because when you go live with someone else, all of their followers get a notification that you're live with them. So this is a great way to get in front of new audiences. Every time I go live, I get more followers, and you get immediate interactions, which is amazing. Now, when should you go live and why? Well, Instagram Lives allow you to expand on any kind of topic that you're an expert in, or direct people to where you want them to go with what's relevant in your business right now. Going live can offer a real low pressure option, uh, uh, for recording a long form video. Like, this is where you can be more casual and people connect with that casual energy. Um, what you need to know about lives is that they can be viewed on the desktop or mobile. So this is really awesome if I live off of my phone. My iPhone is my computer, even though I have an iPad and I have two laptops. I literally can navigate my phone, but many people, especially midlife and older, like to watch things on their computer because it's bigger. So lives can be viewed on the computer. Again, your followers will get a notification when you go live, and they can be saved. If you're going to save your lives, it's really important to make sure that you have a cover already created. You can create your cover in an Instagram story very, very easily. I have resources that teach you how to do that. If anyone wants to know how to create a cover for an Instagram Live, send me an Instagram direct message, and I'll make sure I get you a link to a resource that I have. There are 3 people that can join your live. I'm gonna go live after I show you this deck so you guys can watch me in real time. Okay? So a cover, I will show you what a cover is, but you should have a cover on every reel and every live. It literally is where you have a hook. Lives can be scheduled. I'm going to show you what that looks like in advance so that you can promote it in your stories. You do not need an audience to go live, because the replay of your live does not show how many people watched it if you're going to save it to your feed. And here's what you need to know about Instagram. When you are active in every neighborhood on Instagram, your feed, stories, reels, and lives, Instagram rewards you by pushing your content out and getting more reach. So you definitely want to consider going live, especially since you can practice without an audience. You want to make sure, if you are going to go live, that you have a goal. Like, what is it that you want people to do? For me, often it was to get people to sign up for a webinar, which is a free training. And at the end of my webinar, I would be selling Ready, Set, Grow, or it would be to get them to want to book a strategy call or an audit. But it's really important for you to know what it is that you want someone to do. Here are some examples. You can direct viewers to free or paid offer. You can have people comment on a post in your feed. Often when I'm live, I'll put my computer on and I'll flip my camera and show people exactly where to go to comment. They can click the link in your bio, direct them to that. You can tell them to, share a post and tag you using a specific hashtag, because a hashtag is how all the information is curated together. And so if you have a unique hashtag, I have hashtags for my community, hashtag RSG community. I have hashtags for events that I create, and they are unique hashtags. So there's no one crash tagging my hashtag. It is a curation of conversation from people that are connected to it. So that's what I mean by a specific hashtag. You can tell people to comment a specific word. And like I said, if you want to have automation, you can use it. And you can read a link out loud, because a lot of people on lives come and go, and you want to make sure that they hear it, and you want to make sure it's an easy link. So you want to customize that link. And you can share a link in the comments on a live for people if you want them to take a screenshot of it. Often I'll say, take a screenshot, I'm sharing a link, or send me a direct message for this thing to discuss that thing. Again, if you say comment on my last post with X, then I can send you Y. So you want to select a time and a date, and this is like you could have your own show. You could say, okay, say you sell clothing or sell jewelry, and you wanted to do a live auction, a live trunk show. And you said every Thursday at 2 p.m. EST, I'm going to highlight my new drops. And you're going to say, anyone that's watching on my live gets first dibs. I only have X amount. You get first dibs at this collection, and then I'll send it out to my email list. So there's a way to use a live to incentivize someone to join and be a part of the conversation. For those of you that are like, wait, I don't even know how to, like, say you went live, I want you to know in Insights, you can look and view all of your lives. And so if you tap into Insights and then you tap into all, you can look and see your views on anything, stories, feed, and your live, which is really cool. So you have access to kind of revisit how successful it was. And when you go live, you do want to write down a rough script if it's your first time. I don't need a script. I know exactly what I'm talking about now, but you just want to make sure that you stick to your notes and you don't go down rabbit holes. Some really good tips when you do go live is to have a light. Make sure your background is clear, that there's no laundry or chaos back here. You might have a poster that explains something. Angles are important when you're live. You might want to showcase your products. Like, just be prepared. Like, be the director of your live before you go live. Promoting your live is important, and there's different ways to do that. So here is a couple things to keep in mind. When you tap the plus sign on Instagram, you have all these options to create content in different neighborhoods. You have your reel, you have your post, you have your story, you have your highlight, and you have your live. When you tap live, it opens up to this right here. And again, I'm going to show you guys in a minute. You can add a title, which you want to do. But if you're like, wait, Subi, I want to schedule and do a practice run. Perfect. You can tap that little calendar. You can set up a practice run. And after you add the title, I didn't do a practice run, I did a live, and it shows up in your bio that you are going to go live with the title you picked, with the time that you picked, so that anyone that lands on your bio knows that you're doing a live. You can also promote it in your Instagram stories. And so it's really important, especially if you haven't done a live yet, and I did a really quick one, so I can walk you through what it looks like here. I'll keep this here for 1 second. I'm gonna check with Jim to see if any questions are coming in.
We had some, people are asking, how do you create a cover? Which I assume you're gonna go into as you go through this, or you're gonna have people figure that out separately.
If anyone needs to learn how to create an Instagram cover for a live or for an Instagram story, send me a direct message. I have a resource that teaches you exactly how to do it. So I won't waste time here walking through that, but I do have something I can send you.
Do you use something other than ManyChat now?
No, I don't even use ManyChat now. I use ManyChat when I had my company where I had 5 employees and I had 20 contractors and a team for every aspect of my business, including someone that built out my automation funnels. Right now, I am a solopreneur, like many of you, and I kind of like the simplicity of this. After building out a multi-million-dollar business teaching Instagram, I'm kind of going back to the basics and, really prioritizing all aspects of my life that are important. But I did have someone on my team that was a ManyChat expert. I am not.
Can you give people 2 options for a call to action, or is strictly only one best?
Great question. So when you want people to take a certain action, it is best for it to be one. Because if it's 2 or more, it's confusing. And so if you want people to sign up for your webinar, don't tell them to sign up for your webinar and subscribe to your YouTube channel at the same time. Your conversion rate is so much greater when it's one call to action. Anything else?
No, I think that's it for now.
Okay, so when you go live, I quickly went live the other day just to take this screenshot for you guys. This is what you see. You see your title at the top left. You see how many people are live. Only 2 are live. I took a screenshot of myself. You see that you can share photos and videos with this icon. There are over 30 icons on a live, and I teach you what each one does in Ready, Set, Grow, but I'm going through them quickly. So this is the where you can share photos or videos. You can turn mics on and off, video on and off. You can flip the camera, put on a filter, wave to people, invite people. People can ask questions and comment. You can turn comments on and you can turn comments off. After your live, you can see the duration of your live, how many comments that you got, how many accounts you reached, all kinds of great data, which is one of the reasons I love doing Instagram lives. I mentioned earlier that it's important to promote your live. Yes, it really is. You want to promote your live using Instagram stories. You can use the countdown sticker. Remember, we talked about all the engagement stickers? One that I didn't talk about last week was the countdown sticker, where you can literally put a countdown sticker in your stories and let people know that you're going live. I didn't do this on the countdown sticker, but I strongly suggest you tell them what you're talking about. So I should have put talking about Instagram live tips when I took this screenshot, but you guys get the idea. You can also direct message certain members of your community to tell them that you're going live so that they join. And you can share that you're going live on Instagram on other social channels as well as sending out a newsletter, right? Mentioning it in your newsletter, especially if it's going to be a weekly live. The strategy is really how is this going to benefit my audience and what can I give them? And if you practice, you will get better. When you're on your Instagram live, you can share it to everyone at the top. But if you do want to do that practice run, you need to tap into this little white caret arrow. It's so tiny. Don't ask. It's like, really? Instagram, this is where you find it. And then when you tap that arrow, it opens up to this. and you can tap on practice. So you can practice it and no one's going to see it. It's not shared, it's private. So you can invite a few selected viewers to practice and have people comment and interact with. It's such a great feature to get used to seeing how Instagram Lives work when you invite someone to join your live. Strongly recommend it, especially if you feel nervous, and you just get used to all the 30 buttons and what they do. You are ready to go live with intention and purpose, like everything else you're doing. Remember, we talked many times already about building your authority, because when you go live, you can build your authority. People can relate to you more and feel connected to you. And people can even share when you're live, they can share it. I always tell people to tap the airplane icon under this live and share it with your audience if you think they would enjoy joining the conversation. So you can share it. And call to actions. We had a great question about this. So here are some examples of call to actions that you can use. You can direct your viewers to a free piece of content or even a paid offer. You can tell them to visit or comment on your post in your feed if you want to get more engagement on that, right? Click the link in your bio. Hopefully you take them somewhere good. You could tell people to share a post and to tag you using that specific hashtag, like I said earlier, or comment on a certain word to trigger that chat box that we talked about. And again, you want to read that link out loud and share it, so that people can comment and share it. You want to tell people what you want them to do. It is not their job to figure it out. And today you learned why Instagram Lives is a great neighborhood. It has a lot of value. You're talking directly to people live, and it can be people all over the world, not just in your little ecosystem of where you live. And you learned how to share it, how to use it, ideas on call to actions. It's such a great feature. I am going to go live and show you guys what that looks like. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen. I would invite any questions that people have. The link to this recording you'll get it. So if you need to refresh it, Brenda, you can definitely do that. Any other questions coming up?
Somebody had a general question about hashtags, saying that they've heard they're not as valuable. What do you think?
100%. I don't use hashtags at all anymore unless they are related to an event or a community like I talked about.
And somebody wants to know if you're going to have another edition of your book called Instagram for Dummies.
No, there's no dumb questions. You can ask me whatever you need. How long is it advised to stay on the chat? Jan, as long as when you're recording, as long as you are giving value and people are interested. Let me show you an Instagram live that I did, and with the cover that I talked about earlier. I'm going to share not that. I want to share my phone. I need to go into the advanced settings here. Okay, so tell me that you can see my phone pop up. There it is. Okay.
There it is.
This post with Avanti right here, how to live a long, healthy life, the longevity formula, is an Instagram live. Notice the lighting. There's no distractions. I talk before I bring her on. If any of you want to go watch this, it's there for viewing. And I had the cover prepared before I did it. That is the cover with the hook on it. That is an Instagram live. And so you definitely can view insights on a live. The watch time was 5 hours and 52 minutes collectively. I had 53 interactions. The best thing about this is I had 66.6 non-followers watching. And that's what you want to attract: non-followers, new opportunities. So even though This might be like, okay, Sue, you didn't get that many likes. I don't care about likes. I care about non-followers. I care about interactions. I care about conversations. And so that's important. Notice that Score just hearted up my message. I get the attention of corporate Score, which is so fun. So that is an Instagram Live. You want to present yourself professionally in a way that isn't distracting. And so I let people know what I was going to be talking about before I brought on my guest, before I brought on the author. Now you can bring on up to 3 other people. And every time you bring someone on, their audience gets a notification, which is pretty awesome. And if it gets noisy, you can, like, everyone can be muted or everyone can be off camera. Avanti was, like I said, a client of mine, and I just love that she has this #1 best-selling book, especially because I'm so dedicated and focused on anything that has to do with longevity, health, wellness, all of it. Because if you're not healthy, it is really hard to be a successful business owner as a solopreneur or entrepreneur. And so sometimes it takes a little while for your guests to get on, and I always have photos available that I share. So you can share photos on a live, you can share videos on a live. So I did a little introduction. I shared the cover before I brought her on. I talked about the longevity formula, giving her like really props to her book. And I love that it's a #1 best-selling book. So she came on a little after I gave this whole introduction. All right, now I'm going to show you guys how to go live. I'm tapping the plus sign on the top right. I'm tapping the live button, and your job sitting at home is to join this live. All of you, okay? So I'm going to add a title. How about Score More Sales? Guys, come on. And we got to throw in a good emoji in there. We got to throw in the money, honey. I like the flying money one. Okay, that's my title. See the calendar? This is where you could schedule it. I'm just going to go live right away. I'm going to cancel that. People can give me tips if they want. This is the little tips. Or you can have your live go towards a foundation, nonprofit. I do a lot of philanthropic work. So there's that opportunity. In fact, that is the donate button more than the tip button. Up top right here is the wheel that shows you right side, left side, allow your camera to access the live, and then you can tap into the live, save live to your archives. You want to make sure you save your live to your archives, because I don't recommend posting your live right away. I recommend making sure you have that cover and then posting it after. Okay, so I'm going to go live, and a couple of you, 3 of you, can join my live. It's going to be fabulous. Okay, so I'm tapping the button. You get a countdown, and we will have people that are here who are outside of our community. But I'm going to say, if you are watching this from Score, I want to invite you to join the conversation and get curious. If anyone is interested in joining this live broadcast and experiencing it, then just simply hit the camera. It says join now, or there's a request to join. So anyone who's a little like excited, guys, this is like going live with Sue B and getting reach to my audience. Let me tell you, you want to join. You want to say yes. Okay, I see 3 people. Rekindle Dance. Carla, I know you and I are supposed to talk soon. I'm going to accept Carla. I'm going to accept Luggin Music Band is coming, and Rekindle Dance. So I don't know your first names. I accepted you all. I want you to tap your microphone. Mute. Everybody tap your microphone. See the microphones? Tap the microphone and mute. Mute. Okay. I think you're all muted. Hi, wave to me if you're here from SCORE. Yay! Okay, perfect. You guys are such great students. I love it. I'm gonna kind of move over here out of the really direct sunlight. Okay, so each one of you is going to go off the mic, say who you are and what you do, and ask me any question about Instagram Lives that you're learning from our SCORE session, okay? Now, because I don't know your names because your business are not, the only one I know is Carla. Carla, wave. Carla, you get to go off the mic first. So tap the mic and talk to me.
Sue, your screen went blank.
So good to see you. And do I have an echo from the computer?
You do, but that's okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna move out of this room. How's that?
Yeah, or you can
Maybe
mute.
show you around at some of my artwork. How's
No,
that?
no, we're gonna just take a second here. We're not gonna take up too much time. You can mute your Zoom mic, so you can go back to the Zoom area. But Carla, what question do you have?
Okay, did you see how I got into marketing myself right away, Subi? You like that?
Yes and no, because we're here to do this first.
Gotcha. So what I really liked about today was how interactive we got right now.
Cool.
I thought that was fit because I'm having problem with doing too many platforms at once.
Okay.
So I think
Okay, so you and I need to talk, so I'm looking forward to our call. And you shouldn't be doing more than one platform.
that's what I thought. I guess that's my question.
Okay, you can mute your mic because of the echo and I'll talk to you. So I think I've said this before, and it's really hard, especially as a solopreneur, entrepreneur, to be on more than one platform. I am on X, I am on LinkedIn, I am on Facebook. I'm only active, really active on Instagram. I don't need to be active anywhere else. I need to go deeper in my audience and who I serve. And when you do that well and strategically, you can convert. I have a lot of clients that are artists, and I love artists. I am creative at the core. I used to have a scrapbooking business where I taught on QVC. I love and respect my artists, and you guys just don't know how to sell your art the right way. And I have bought art on Instagram, and there's a way to do it well. And so, Carla, we can chat. Okay, let's get going. I don't know your names on the other two because your businesses don't have your name for me to see. So how about one of you just go off mic real quick?
My name is Audrey, and I'm just gonna mute this. Anyway, I'm with Plugged In Band Program, and I am a volunteer. My daughter was in the program as a student about 10 years ago, and I've come back to learn marketing skills and graphic design skills. And as a volunteer, I can't make anything to help boost it. And so I got involved in SCORE, and I brought in a number of people from Plugged In to learn about how they can boost their marketing. So we're excited to be here and to learn.
Yeah, what question do you have for me?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have one. I'm just excited to be here and learn.
Okay, let's pass the mic to the last one. Thank you for jumping in. I appreciate it. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Melissa Freebie. I'm a co-founder of Rekindle Dance. We teach partner dance lessons at home in unique venues along the coast of Boston. Thank you for letting me join this. I'm a little bit nervous about being on live. I've never done this before. My question, I guess, is how often do you do something like this? And I guess I don't know if I have content to share. I feel like I'm not sure what I would be able to give people in a live setting.
Yeah, do you want to mute? Yeah. You can mute the mic and I can tell you. So there's nothing to be nervous about when you think of your phone as your friend and you're just talking to one person, two person, or three. Don't you all feel very comfortable in this kind of little ecosystem of where we are? And so this is what it feels like when you're live. And yes, you absolutely have content. And if you're struggling with that, we can certainly talk. Everyone has content. It's the backdrop of your business and why you do what you do and the nuances of your business. And so if you aren't thinking about what would someone be interested in learning, seeing, understanding, or doing, you don't have a marketing mindset, and every solopreneur entrepreneur has to be a marketer. It is your job to be a marketer. So I love that you guys see this. So you can have up to 4. There's a little circle where you can put on a filter if you want. Pop on a filter if you want, if you're like, oh, dang, I like that. You can also mute and unmute, like I said, but you guys were great. You did really well. Let's clap it up for everybody in the chat here on Score. I'm going to X out and end the broadcast. Thanks, you guys. You guys can all X out. It's on the top. Yep. You just X out to leave. And perfect. And when people don't know how to leave, you as the content creator can remove people. I teach you this, how to remove everyone that's on your live. And I'm going to remove Carla because she didn't know how to leave. And you want to wrap it up. You want to like bring it home. Today I brought on 3 guests from Score. They're all learning Instagram marketing and they've never done an Instagram live and they just want to understand the nuances of it. And so if you love this, let me know below what questions you have for me that have to do with an Instagram live. And I'll see you next time. And then you can discard the video, which I'll do, and it will be saved as an archive once it gets whatever it is, the video gets transcribed or not transcribed, just does its magic, and I don't know the right word. I will see it. What?
It gets processed.
Processed. Exactly, Jim. Thank you. Then I will see it in my archives and I can share it with a cover. So guys, you did great. I appreciate you joining. I love that you felt that this was a good part of the demonstration. Please let me know in the chat as we wrap up in the next 4 minutes. If you could type like, I loved learning about Instagram lives because I'm going to take screenshots and share it next week and let everyone know what takeaways were. The more you give, the more you get, said Lisa. Oh, Lisa, I love that you are leaning into that sentiment because it is 100% accurate. Brenda, I share all that in Ready, Set, Grow, like how to do the nuances, but you can watch the replay for sure. Not sure of designs, what it is. I don't know what that question is. I love learning about Instagram Live. It is brand new to me. Linda Sharp. I'm so happy. It's one of my favorite neighborhoods. Nancy said, I loved everything about lives. I already have some ideas for you designs. Yay. Well, when you guys have ideas, I get really happy because I love empowering you. I love the interview idea with staff, volunteers, and alumni. Perfect. Yeah, and you could do a weekly one, Audrey. That sounds like a great idea for you. Carlos said, looking forward to getting more comfy with this. Yeah, the way that I like you guys to type is, I love learning about Instagram lives because, and then talk about your business. Jan, every single thing I do is casual and strategic and sometimes spontaneous. And when you have casual energy, it's comfortable, it's trusting, and people respond and react to that. I think when it's very performative and highly marketed, you can feel an agenda and it doesn't feel authentic, right? Colleen said, I love learning about Instagram Live because you help take away the fear factor of being live. Yay, Colleen, I love that. Yeah, I don't want you, like, no one's judging you but yourself. Carol said, I love learning about how many tools you have access to in Instagram Live. Yeah, seriously, there are so many tools. I just touched, I just brushed over some of them.
Can you do live from a desktop?
No, you cannot. Good question. Varishali said, I can see how I can use Instagram Live in my business. Mathematic rules. We make math less scary and more approachable for high school. Oh man, you could be talking about problems and how your methodology works to solve them and do math in less time. I love that. Harleen Gross said, I love learning about Instagram Live. It's because people are unfamiliar with Tachyon, which is the healing modality. I have no idea what that is. So I'm one of those people that have no idea. Lisa said I created a couple of reels, but can see using live similar to a spontaneous YouTube video. Yeah, I don't want anything to ever be spontaneous. I want it to be strategic and very well planned out. But I'm really appreciative that you guys shared all those takeaways. And next week I am diving deep into reels. So again, jump in my DM. I want you all to know that I do have that free 15-minute call link in my bio. If any of you are interested in getting on my calendar and talking to me about something specific, I'm here for you. And I'm really looking forward to reels. Jim, any final words from you?
No, the only thing I'll remind people that if you want to attend next week's session, you do have to register separately for that. I'll put the link in an email you'll get in the next day or two, including the link to this recording. And we are going to be announcing, as Sue said, that separate session going deep into DMs, which will take place on April 3rd. And I assume Sue Year is still in La Jolla then, so we'll do it at 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Yes, I won't be back on Cape Cod until May 1st. Lucky me.
Awesome. Well, we'll welcome you at the bridge.
Oh, that would be so nice. I love the bridge. Thank you,
Thanks everybody
Melissa.
for attending.
Yeah, thanks you all for attending. I'll see you guys next week, and jump into my DM if you want the cover or anything else. I'm here for you. Take care.
Bye.